Step on up, take a seat on the swing. Lemon in the sweet tea, hear the night birds sing. Got a spell in the air, got a spark in my hand. Ain't nothing but love in the lines I've planned. Oh, come on in, child, rest a while. Magic's just a whisper wrapped in a smile. Ain't no harm with a heart like glows, but what you give is what you sow. There's salt by the door and a charm on the gate. Old ways die hard, but they sure feel great. Bless your heart, but mind your step. Every little promise is a debt well kept. Oh, come on in, child, rest a while. Magic's just a whisper wrapped in a smile. Ain't no harm with a heart like glows, but what you give is what you sow. Love is truth and the roots run deep. A candle's just a flame till it starts to speak. Harm in none, do as you wish. But sugar and spice don't mean there's no risk. Cards on the table, dreams in the smoke. Every wish I grant is a word I spoke. Not a soul goes lost, not a heart denied. If you stay in the light, love will be your guide. Oh, come on in, child, rest a while. Magic's just a whisper wrapped in a smile. Ain't no harm with a heart like glows, but what you give is what you sow. Sweet as tea. The magic within.
Sorry guys, I forgot to plug the mic in, and I didn't do all my pre-checks like I normally do, so give me one moment. And hello, hello, hello. How are we tonight? I am alive. Not really in the best of headspaces, but I am here, you guys, because yeah, I told myself we must stick to schedules. So that is what we're doing. Hang on a minute. Oop, not what I meant to do. We're going to switch that back. That is not the angle I want you guys at. Hang on. There we go. Apparently I accidentally closed out Firebot, you guys. Hang on. Let's get this going. Much better. Okay. I apparently accidentally exited out of Firebot. That's all I can think of. But hello everyone. How are we tonight? It is our Tuesday body doubling. I am not feeling 100%, as it says down in the chat. and everything like that. I am here and I will be here because consistency be key and be damn it. So here I am. I have a bit of a headache going on, you guys, which I will probably disappear here in a minute, take some painkillers. But all the normal things, GoFundMe, Venmo, PayPal, all over here to my right, your left. If you're on YouTube, all the links are down below in the description. And Twitch, you guys may or may not. It depends on if Firebot's gonna play nice after I accidentally exited out earlier. If it's gonna play nice and give you guys all your things, I hope it does. If not, the links are always live in the normal places. You can find them in my link tree and all that good stuff. So with that, let me get TikTok started so we can get on with the show. And I'm changing things up a little bit. I wanted to do widescreen tonight for TikTok, you guys, because your girl is a little bit exhausted. So we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna be a good girl and add my image up because, I need to have that loaded in, and I don't have it currently loaded in, you guys, so give me a moment. Sorry, you guys, I hate doing this to all of you because you all are so patient for me and always so fantastic. So we're just gonna have this floaty. Make sure you can see it in the mobile. Okay, we should be all good then, you guys. Oh, I'm gonna minimize that. Pop this over here so that I can see everything in one spot. Okay, we're all good. How is everyone tonight? Hi, Krista. How are ya? Oh, your girl is trying to make it. I refuse to give you guys the normal echo BS because I'll try to be nice. Okay. All the normal things have been done. Hello, you guys, for chilling tonight. Oh, we'll see how long crocheting can keep my attention before I end up in a book, you guys. My brain is just, nope, it's not functioning properly. It's okay. Like I said, it's more of a do things that don't require a lot of brain energy on my part tonight. So we're gonna keep working on some market bags. Which I really enjoy crocheting, you guys. I'm so happy I've kind of gotten back into it because it's made my year kind of. I go through bouts where I don't want to touch doing crochet just because I tend to take on bigger projects. And when I do that, I get really just bored with them. So these market bags are kind of like hitting the spot right now. Has anyone seen Red Hood Resurrection's finale episode yet? I don't want to talk spoilers, you guys. Hi Keaton, how are ya? But I did stay up and watch it Sunday night. I fell asleep in the middle of it and ended up uh watching it again yesterday, and then I've watched it a few more times since. So, my hat's off to the cast. You guys did an amazing job. Um, this will probably never come across their feeds. I've already kind of commented on the post and everything on YouTube, but and Liz, the woman who played Babs in it popped up on my feed and she's like, everyone's freaking out. I'm like, she was excellent, excellent Babs. I love a good Babs. Babs is amazing. I love her when she's both Oracle and when she's not being Oracle. Like, who doesn't love Oracle in general? Hi Callie, how are ya? How is your Tuesday night going? Hello everyone. Your girl be exhausted, guys. It's been a day. It's been a day. It's been a day. Hey, Talon. How are ya? Welcome in, welcome in. It is a crochet and reading night. I haven't decided if I'm going to read just yet, but I'm at least crocheting right now to settle my poor little brain. Ooh, the power clicked, guys. How is everyone tonight? Oops. That was not meant to be a double crochet. That was meant to be a single crochet. I know better. At least the bright side with the power blinks, it's not going to go completely out. Hey, Jelda, how are ya? And please, if I say your name wrong ever in chat, you guys, please feel free to correct me if I mispronounce it. I want to know these things, you guys. I don't like to mispronounce names. So, like, if I get it wrong, tell me and tell me how I should pronounce it, and I will make sure that I pronounce it correctly going forward. But, hang on a minute, guys. How is everyone? How is your Tuesday treating you? We have severe weather coming through Nashville, so we'll go live as long as we're here. I haven't even bothered to see if the Nashville severe weather guys are going right now. Probably should. Just because we apparently had tornadoes last night. And your girls, they hit the northern side of Nashville, which means it did not hit my end, which is fine. But Yes, I'm making more market bags, you guys. If you've been here before and you've seen me going at these, I'm just making market bags. I'm in one of those moods. I need something that's like super easy build-up wise with crochet. Because I'm just like, let me make. Just let me make. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I may sell them. I don't know. But I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys hanging out. We're just doing the chill, easy things tonight. It's body doubling night, so if you need to be productive, put me on in the background and let me chat your ear off. Because apparently that's all I'm good for any day. So. Hi, Brain. I probably just pronounced that wrong, but I know that the second half, that's Atreides. I do at least know Dune. Hello, everyone. Hi, mice. How are you tonight? Hello, you guys. Hello, hello. Sorry we're trying the widescreen format tonight. Hi, Vince. I need a change of pace, you guys, because I cannot handle the up and down. It just zooms in too much sometimes. And so we're changing pace. How is everyone tonight? How is your Tuesday treating you? Sorry I've been MIA the last few days. What is going on here? I have never had that happen before. I don't know. How is everyone? We're just chilling. I was just talking about Red Hood Resurrection. I don't know if anyone has seen the finale yet. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't had the opportunity to sit and watch yet, but 10 out of 10. I am ready for season 2. Um Red Hood Resurrection has been taking over my For You page on TikTok and I've been loving it. Mainly because the cast has been absolutely amazing. They're all really good at their parts. There was a lot of fan service in the last episode, which was nice, and adorable in so many ways. It took a lot of fan canon, or fanon, if you will, and made it like canon as far as their bit goes. So I was really excited about that. If you know about the Bird Call fanfic that has been making its rounds again on the posts. I forgot I had read it before and when I found the link again, I was like, wait a second, I remember one, but I don't know if it's this one. Oh, it was so good, you guys. Like they were doing it was just adorable. Everything was so good about it. So we love it. We loved it. It was great. But anyways, but it has been a day today, you guys. Just exhausting. Just tiresome. Which is fine. It happens. It is what it is. Hey Paula, how are ya? How is your Tuesday treating you, dear? You're doing body doubling tonight. Hi Laura, how are ya? Welcome in, welcome in. It is body doubling night. I am just chilling and doing some crochet, you guys, because why not? Working my way through my crochet projects, you guys. Hey Sean, how are ya? Welcome in, welcome in. How is your Tuesday treating you? We are chilling, we are body doubling, we are relaxing, you guys. Just happy to be here, trying to keep my consistency going. I know I kind of took off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Thursday. Well, rephrase. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and last night. But you guys, your girl went and got a massage last night and was exhausted afterwards because her friend does a really good job of this. Meanwhile, my poor little sacral is not having a time. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey Casey, how are ya? Hey, let's not say we didn't. How are ya? Welcome in. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. We're just working on a crochet project. I am busting out these bags like nobody's business. Get these bags made. I do like doing this. It really calms my brain. Repetitive motions, you guys. It's probably not the healthiest for my wrist, but I don't think we're gonna go for super long tonight, you guys. Just because mentally I'm not okay. Hey Lulu, how are you, dear? Welcome in. How is your Tuesday night treating you? Hey Jason, how are ya? Welcome in, welcome in. How is everyone tonight? Oop, I got that looped around my pinky nail, gosh. Oh, another thing I finished. Finished the new Samurai Troopers. You guys, seeing the old crew back together was like kind of cool. But they copped out real quick at the end and like, yeah, we can't do this. We're gonna give Ryo the white armor and say forget it. I was like, guys, come on, fan service me. Because I was like so excited. I was like, Sage, Kento, Sai, ruin it. No. No. Yeah, I'm right. Rowan. Yeah, Rowan. Yeah. I'm not losing my ish, you guys. I know my boys. But anyways, finished it. It was good. I think they're planning more, but I was like, so if you watch the original Ronin Warriors, hi Teresa, how are ya? So if you watch the original Ronin Warriors and you watch the new Ronin Warriors, it's completely two different art types, clearly. But in the new one, they do a lot of 3D animation with it in some aspects, like some pieces where it's like 2D and they're flat, and then other spots where like the armors and stuff can kind of be 3D on occasion. And my one thing about it, this is my only gripe, is that they do 3D for the new boys who have the armors in the new series because Ryo and them are kind of MIA. I will not divulge any more than that. But then when the original crew comes back in and Ryo gets to put on the white armor, instead of having the new guy who has the wildfire armor that takes over the white armor in that aspect, having him do the same transformation, they have him do a completely separate transformation than what Ryo does in the original. And then they used Ryo's original. They animated the whole thing in the new style. And I was like, oh my god, that's my man's. That's my man's. The whole time. I'm like, that's my man's. Like, what the heck? But anyways, your girl is just it's a lot, guys. It's a lot. I'm so happy I got to finish it though, because it hasn't been dubbed yet, so everything is like subtitles and well enough. So I think this is the one thing that I like about it is that knowing how Ronin Warriors flows for me, and this is just how it works for me. Knowing how Ronin Warriors flows is a lot of combat heavy stuff for the boys. Um, it makes things easier to follow. So therefore, I'm not getting distracted by the action on the scene. I can read all the dialogue underneath and all the subtitles so that I know what's going on, which is kind of beneficial for me. Most things where there are subtitles and it's in the original language when it comes to the show. Safe best instance of this is Sailor Stars. Um, if you are a fan of the DIC version, we never got stars with our original audio actors. And so I have stars on DVD, original DVD with subtitles. That's it. And for me, hey Heather. For me, Sailor Moon is too heavy as far as everything goes with with everything going on in it. Like you kind of like have to pay attention to the scene going on to know what's going on in the episode. And so sitting there and reading the subtitles is not easy for me. So I find it um I find it to be a little bit easier with Sailor Moon. It's like I would much rather read the manga. I would much rather wait for the dubbed version essentially. So I have actually not watched any of the new stuff for Sailor Moon where it has been dubbed. Um I should. I haven't. Um Not because I don't want to, just life has been busy. And getting back into Sailor Moon takes so much into my brain because if I'm going to do it, like I have to start from the beginning and watch all the way through. Um Even though I feel that a lot of it in some cases is cringy for me. Um because I deeply when I was younger used to identify with Usagi like so much. And now that I'm older, now that I have gone through life and all those things, like I will say that like there's a part of me that um I will jokingly say, when did I become Haruka? When did I become Michiru? When did I become Setsuna? Like I'm very much like that person of like, when did I become the outers? Um of in that age change bracket, I guess you could say. And it's just it's different. It's different in those aspects, you guys, and I cannot I just I love Usagi and I will always love Usagi. I will always love Dumpling Head. I will love her to death. But your girl has just like I said, there's some moments that are cringe for me in my personal opinion. So rewatching is really difficult for me in those aspects. Now watching Crystal was super easy. Just because I read the manga and it would felt less cringe. Hi Vibe, how are ya? Um so like Sailor Moon Crystal felt less cringe than the original felt cringe. So it was a whole lot easier to do to sit through Crystal, but I'd also already read the manga for that one, so it wasn't that bad as far as like watching it went. Now like Gundam Wing, I can sit rewatch it. There's nothing cringe about it to me. How are you tonight, Vibe? Hope your Tuesday is treating you well. Gundam Wing doesn't make me cringe. DBZ doesn't make me cringe. Dragon Ball does. Um, just because Dragon Ball was like the beginning story of it all, and I did not watch Dragon Ball until after I had watched DBZ. So like a lot of young Goku stuff was cringy to me, and young Bulma stuff was cringy to me. But that's just me. Um, but I have its appreciation for what it is and like understanding like, okay, this is how we ended up where we are with Gohan or Goku modern day. Um but like watching a lot of the Dragon Ball stuff, not cringe. Watching DBZ, watching Gundam Wing, watching G Gundam, not cringe for me, but there is some stuff that like going back and rewatching it, some of it is a little like watching original Sailor Moon in its entirety. Hi Em, how are ya? Welcome in. Hey Alex, how are you, love? How is your Tuesday night treating you, Em? Sorry, I was just talking about how like some of my favorite animes have now become cringe to me in some way, shape, or form. I am sorry. I was supposed to be where I'm supposed to be crocheting right now, you guys. Alex Sunshine could not even Sunshine does not even describe me right now, but thank you. Oops. I went too far on the crochet. Okay, so I don't think I have a favorite M. I would say so. I love Sailor Moon. I grew up on Sailor Moon. I will always love Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon was kind of the introduction. Um, Lies, Alex, but I appreciate you nonetheless. Um, so Sailor Moon was one of the first ones that I ever watched. Gun and Wing was one of the first ones I ever watched. Dragon Ball Z, Ronin Warriors, and I feel like there's one more that I'm forgetting, and I don't know what it is. And now it's killing me because I think there were like 5 original shows that I originally watched on Toonami that that were all like the animes that I grew up on. And so like for me it's like see, okay. So Sailor Moon, I grew up on the American DIC version, which goes in and hi Wavy, welcome in. The thing with the DIC version is you have to understand it Americanized all the names. It made it made Mamoru and Usagi's age difference bigger. Because they had him in college when they were dating, and she was in middle school, whereas he was only in high school in the original, and she was in middle school. So like it wasn't that huge of an age gap. Um they also made Haruka and Michiru, who are Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune, respectively, cousins because they were together. And so there's a lot of stuff that just got changed in the Americanized version. To be honest with you, there's just a lot that got changed in the Americanized version. So, watching the DIC, knowing everything I know about Sailor Moon and having learned all the differences, it's it's cringe because of that, if that makes sense. Like that's why original Sailor Moon will always be cringe. Um yeah, Americanizing can ruin things. Now I will say I loved Gundam Wing. They did not do a huge Americanizing with it, which was a huge benefit. Um Dragon Ball Z, I can't speak to. I'd love to watch the original with subtitles and see what's different. I kind of enjoy doing those things of watching shows and comparing them to the like source material and stuff like that. So like I've watched um Hi Warner. I am currently in the process of reading book 3 of the Game of Thrones series, and I'm comparing it to the show as I read it because I've watched the show enough times. But Sailor Moon Crystal, absolutely love it. 10 out of 10 would recommend it. My only thing with it is that they did not do the there's chunks of it that they did in film version versus doing it in a show version. So there are going to so it's not like it's been completely done. Um I do know that they took the original anime, remastered it, and they've put new voice actors on it, which is another thing that I'm kind of like it's the reason I don't want to watch it is cuz I really loved the DIC voice actors for it. They were all just so amazing. And so watching the new voice actors, like, there's a dissociation for me between those voices. Um, but I did just finish the new Samurai Troopers series tonight. I was almost done with it, so I finished it up tonight and quite have enjoyed it. Um, the art style is very drastically different than the original, which I get it. You probably can't. The chances of being able to do the original art style for it is probably hard. Um, but I thoroughly, thoroughly, absolutely loved it. Have loved watching it. Because I do love the Ronin Warriors series. The original series was like 40 something episodes, I think, originally. Please don't quote me on that. Um, thanks for sharing the live, Warner. Um, but the new one, this first one was only like 12. Oh, thanks, Warner. Um, so this first season of this new one was only like 12 episodes, but it was quite interesting. I liked it. I liked how like there were the throwbacks to the original show. Um Especially with the music. There were some music crossovers there for that. There was also like they gave the new Ronin, the new samurai troopers, they gave them new styles of um attacks and stuff like that versus what the original group had. Their transformations were very different, which was something that I really did like, is like you're saying that like, hey, a new generation has a new version of this ability to do this. And I liked when they did bring the original guys in. Ryo, who is the original holder of the wildfire armor, when he ends up in the white armor, uh, they on purpose animated them differently for the new guy versus Ryo. So Ryo's was the absolute original way that it was done in the original show versus in this new one, the new guy has a different style of how he gets into the armor and stuff like that. And I love that White Blaze is basically an immortal cat at this point. My big old favorite white tiger. I am so happy White Blaze came back in that series. Like, that's not a huge thing. Warner, we're just talking anime. We're talking anime, my love. We are I haven't seen any of those actually. So Sword Art Online and Orin Host Club, everyone recommends so many of them to me, and I'm like, yeah, Warner, I'm just talking anime at this point. Why heck not? Um, I'm not. I have storylines that I really, really like to kind of be clear about that. I have very like specific storylines that I like. I did watch Free Run because it kept coming up on my freaking well, now you are Warner. You're gonna hear me nerd out a lot tonight, apparently. Um so I've watched Free Run because it kept coming up on my For You page on TikTok. It kept coming up on the long form content app. So for me, I just started yes, I will get to that in a second, but yes, I do love the Studio Ghibli movies. I love them, love them, love them. Um but for me with like how to explain this? Um, I'm very particular about storylines. I love a good storyline. I love a good storyline that has a really great follow through and a lot of cool callbacks. So, like, Free Ren was recommended to me. I watched it, absolutely enjoyed it. I've been watching the Apothecary Diaries. I think I'd like to read it more so than I'd like to watch it, but I have been enjoying those. I have enjoyed that so far, so I am like caught up as to the end of the last season that just ended. Thank you guys for liking the live. Um so I've watched all of Apothecary Diaries. I get a lot recommended to me as far as it all goes. I've Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, um and the newer Dragon Ball stuff that I'm not like the biggest fan of. I kind of like how I don't like how GT ended. I want to be very clear. Someone's going to come at me about this. That you should not like GT. GT is not considered canon anymore in the Dragon Ball Z world. But I'm like, but I like how the original show ended. I don't like that we're retconning half the stuff that happened in the original show now with this new series. Um Thanks guys for hanging out. Um, like I liked how GT went. Like I just liked how the original show, um, how the original show went. That was just a personal thing for me. I have my preference. I like the original better. Um, versus where like I feel like they made Goku more wacky in the new Dragon Ball stuff, and I don't. It's kind of like how we talk. It's kind of like how we. Everyone talks about how Goku's not like the greatest dad. I agree. What do you mean you can't watch it, Warner? I mean, Lisa, not everyone can. Not everyone can. It's okay. Not everyone can get into the stuff. It's not always the same. It's not always the same. I won't disagree with that statement. It's not always the same. Um, but no, as far as it all goes, like I love those, but like my if I had to pick a favorite, M, to kind of answer your favorites question, if I had to pick a favorite, it's Gundam Wing. It will forever be Gundam Wing. I own next to all of my Sailor Moon dolls. I have all the original Gundams. I have, and that includes like show version Wing Zero. I have Fancy Wing Zero. I have Epion, who is currently sitting on top of my PlayStation in here and everything like that. But I have always been like Gundam Wing is just one of those that like I love it. I love it. It's always forever gonna be one of my favorites. Hiro Yui is my original I can fix him guy. Um is my joke. Just because I've always felt that way about him as far as it all goes, you guys. Like, I'm like, I can fix him. Relina can't fix him, but I can fix him. Um, which is not the case, let's be brutally honest there. Um, but going back to your question about the Studio Ghibli movies, I love the Studio Ghibli movies. I have seen so many of them. Hey, let's not say we didn't. Welcome in. How are you, dear? Um, but Studio Ghibli, I absolutely love the Studio Ghibli movies. Those are some of my favorite movies. Kiki's Delivery Service was my first Studio Ghibli movie ever. Um, pretty much. Yes, I will not argue with that. I am always nerdy. It is life. Um, so Kiki's Delivery Service was the first Studio Ghibli movie that I ever saw. That one actually got a special thing on like Cartoon Network back in the day. So that's how I saw it first. And then I saw Howl's Moving Castle after that. Spirited Away. Um, what else am I forgetting? Crap, what am I thinking? Like there's a whole list of them. I've seen so many of them. I've seen Ponyo. I have not seen the most recent one that Rob Pattinson did a voice acting for. I haven't seen it. It's on my list. I haven't seen it yet though, but it's on my list. Warner, I've been watching Inuyasha. I was watching Inuyasha when it wasn't appropriate for me to be watching Inuyasha. Like, I was little when this happened, okay? I know Inuyasha. Fun fact, Koga's voice actor and Moroku's voice actor and Shishomaru's voice actor, all three of them were in Gundam Wing. All three of them were in Gundam Wing. Koga was originally Duo Maxwell in Gundam Wing, American dubbed version. Moroku, Kirby, was actually Troa Barton in the American dubbed version, and Shishomaru was actually Trace Kushinada on Gundam Wing. So there you go. I will nerd out. Do not get me wrong. I will nerd the crap out. I will give you guys all the education that you can get on that one, okay? Also, another cool fact, the guy who played Catra Rababa Winter in Gundam Wing went on to play Light, I think it was in Death Note. I think it was Light in that one. I don't know. But, yeah, like, don't get me started on Inuyasha. Don't get me, hi, full send, how are you, dear? Okay, so to be brutally honest with you, Death Note was never on my list to watch. What happened is I think one night I was this is back when they had the midnight, it wasn't Adult Swim, but it was Toonami, or maybe it was Adult Swim when they were doing Inuyasha. I don't remember. So one night I stayed up one night to watch it, like, live, and, Death Note was on before it, and that's when I heard Light's voice, and it's not that I was watching it, I just had it on so I wouldn't miss it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's Catra! Like, I literally was like, that's Catra Rababa Winter, guys. That is Catra Winter. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was having a whole mo. Like, straight up having a whole mo, you guys. Um, uh, so got all caught up. So, like, I was like, okay, now I know Catra's voices actors in this one. But Scott and Brian get around a lot vocally. Mark, who is Hiro Yui's voice actor, has not gotten along or around a lot. And honestly, last time they had Mark do any of Hiro's lines, I was like, and I'm sorry, Mark, if you're hearing me say this and it's on a recorded thing. Mark can't do Hiro's voice anymore. Mark just can't do it. Scott and Brian can do Catra and Duo all day long, respectively. But Mark's just the last time that I heard him do it, it's just he misses something with it. Zex's voice actor is pretty cool. I love him. But he's been killing it vocally. Like, he still can do the thing. Um, which is something that I love. Um, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's Zex Marquise. I can hear that. I can hear that all day long. It doesn't bother me a bit in the world. Um, that I can hear him, and it makes it work, and I can hear his voice and everything. But anime is just one of those things that, like, it can be hit or miss for me. And everyone recommends a bunch of them to me, not understanding, and I'm not being mean, you guys, like, just to be very clear, I'm very particular about my storylines. I'm I really enjoy a story that, like, I can find a lot of symbolism in, and I can follow these things, and it's like you're having a lot of character progression as the series goes. I think that's why I love Gundam Wing as much as I do. I think that's why I love Sailor Moon as much as I do, Dragon Ball Z as much as I do, because yeah, you basically, I always say, like, yeah, it's Goku saving the world constantly, but really it's like you get that buy-in with these characters that, like, Vegeta starts off as a bad guy, you guys, and then progressively through this series, he becomes the good guy. And it's like, okay, bro, I didn't see that coming. You see Gohan go from this scared little kid in the original beginning of the series, and Gohan becomes this amazing warrior that defeats Cell by like, I don't even know what the seasons are anymore, you guys. In Dragon Ball Z, we've been around Dragon Ball Z for way too long. That's why. Um, but for me, I really love like each character goes through their own growth arc throughout the series. Um, and I can follow that, and I really like that. Like I like that we get like the overarching story, but then we get these little side quests, if you will, that still go along with the main storyline, because you see that in Gundam Wing. Hiro goes from this emotional, it is all about the mission, it is all about the mission, it is all about the mission, to he realizes that like he goes through a lot of character growth. Catra goes through a lot of character growth, that he realizes, like, okay, yes, I agree with my family's view of pacifism, but there is always someone that needs to be doing the fight. Hi, Alyssa. How are ya? Um, but like, if there are people who are not willing to stand up for the people who believe in pacifism, we will never have pacifism at that point. Wu Fei's whole thing is his wife was originally supposed to be the pilot of the Gundam that he's in. Which you don't know if you don't read the comics, because you learn that more, and I say comics, I mean the manga. You learn that in the original manga versus in the show. Because they left that out, because I guess they didn't want to bat a female, because originally Wu Fei was supposed to be a scholar. The stuff I learn, that I have learned over the years, that Wu Fei was originally supposed to be a scholar. And then you have Duo, who is this orphan, was adopted by the church, ended up he had run away to go steal a mobile suit at some point in time, if I remember correctly. If I'm remembering this correctly, it's been a hot minute since I've read Duo's backstory. He went to go steal a mobile suit to keep the soldiers from bugging the church, and while he was gone, they attacked. The church ended up, like, the people that were taking care of him ended up, yeah. And he ends up becoming the god of death, Shinigami, in the series, because of that. And his outfit is a callback to like a priest's outfit, because it has like the black collar with a little white little piece in the middle of it. It's really cool. Like, as you look at these characters and you learn all these things, how much they grow throughout this. And it's like Relina starts as this like brat. Like, I the best way to describe her is she is that's exactly what she is in the beginning. And then she goes through this amazing character arc of um so that's where she starts. And then she meets Hiro. She starts to learn the truth about why the war is happening. Um and she ends up like, oh well, she finds out she's Relina Peacecraft, not Relina Dorlin. She begins to preach the pacifism teachings that her biological family had, and then she realizes in and amongst all of that like weapons are always going to exist in some way, shape, or form. We're always going to have people who don't agree with the status quo of peace, peace, peace. And so she steps back from that and becomes Dorlin again, by the time In the Swaltz happens, which is a year after the end of the show. And her character arc is just beautiful, because, like, she's not exactly damsel in distress, even though Hiro and all of them have to go save her butt in the Swaltz. But like, she goes through this process of like this huge character growth. Dorothy has like minor character growth. I wish we'd seen more of Dorothy getting a character growth arc throughout Gundam Wing. But she's introduced so late in the series that it's kind of hard to give her that. But like, I love a series where like we're doing the overarching storyline of we are dealing with XYZ. But like having that sub piece of all of these characters are getting their own growth arcs is beautiful. I think that's the reason why I love, like I said, I think that's the reason why I love Dragon Ball Z so much. I think that's the reason why I love Sailor Moon so much, is because as much as I get irritated with the cringe earliness of it all, the original Americanized version and everything like that, all of the girls go through these crazy arcs because before Usagi finds them, they're all separated. They don't know. Hi, Sean. How are ya? Um, Usagi and the girls are kind of all separated and stuff like that. And as she starts to claim, to find them and bring them into the fold, it's like you have Ray, you have Ami, and she has always been like the lone wolf, not intentionally. She's picked on because she's smart. Everyone thinks she's a freaky genius and all this stuff. And Amy's just super smart and really applies herself, in my opinion. And I love her, and she goes and being around Usagi, she learns that like studying all the time is not important. It's important to have your life and live your life. And then you have um I'm gonna call her by her American name because I always butcher her Japanese name, but Lita, Sailor Jupiter. She goes through an amazing arc where like, she was always beating up the bullies. We love that. Um, but that was because she was being picked on because she's always so much taller than everyone in her class and all these other things. And you see her really kind of soften with Usagi, and you see her, she teaches the girls to bake. She goes through all these things and stuff like that. And she really has this beautiful blooming, essentially. Same thing with Ray, same thing with Minako. I love it. I mean, you also have to like take into account the outers, with the exception of Hataru, um, and Setsuna. I would honestly also leave Setsuna out of this. Haruka and Michiru have been so used to it only being them and them working together that it becomes such a beautiful arc to watch them when they're in particularly during the Heart Snatcher season when Usagi has finally got the chalice and everything like that, and they're going head to head over this stuff. And basically it's like they don't believe Usagi is the princess, or is the moon princess, even though we know she's met her mama. She's met mama at that point. Like, she knows who she is. And you go through this process of like watching them like she basically puts a kibosh on it eventually in the fight. And it's like the inner scouts get really upset because Tuxedo Mask keeps them, Mamoru keeps them from interfering. And he explains like, y'all cannot fight this battle for her. She is the one who has to earn their respect. She is the one who has to earn all of this. And it's so beautiful to watch. It's still one of the things that like it's probably one of the most controversial episodes in my opinion of the original, because it makes me so mad every time. I can't watch it without getting absolutely angry. Like, to be very clear, I cannot watch it without getting angry every time. Um it's a good episode. It's a lot of growth. It's a lot of those things. But like it just hits in a way that makes me so mad. I'm like, how can you say this is not your moon princess when you have watched her literally sacrifice her life for Hataru? I don't get it. It's one of those moments that I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with the story writing there. I get that it's meant to be in some way controversial, but like it just hits. in a way that just grinds my gears in the worst possible way. But I love it. It's just, for me, it's like I have to have character development. Characters must be developing through a whole entire story or I can't enjoy it. Full Metal Alchemist is one of them that I do like. I just have never sat and watched it from beginning to end. I need to sit and watch it from beginning to end. I know I'm going to be traumatized if I sit and watch it from beginning to end. But I know for a fact, because of how many people have told me, like, you have so much character development in all of the characters as it goes. I need stuff like that. I have to have stuff like that. Otherwise, you're not going to keep me watching. I'm not going to enjoy it. And it's the same thing with my reading. Like, I've got to see character development. If I'm not getting character development, you're not going to keep me. And I think that's why I've really been, like, to kind of step out of anime and get back into, like, what I was talking about earlier was the Redhead Resurrection fan show. Warner, I've had a very traumatizing day today, okay? So we may call it early, you guys. I haven't quite decided yet. We'll see. But um But like I was saying, Red Hood Resurrection earlier this evening. Red Hood Resurrection, for those that may not know, and I probably won't do it any justice. And again, I'm probably eventually going to say enough of this stuff that David Michael Reardon and the whole entire cast is going to find my stuff. And I'm just like, don't mind me being a Jason Todd fangirl over here, but I own no Jason Todd merch. I really need a Jason. I really need a Red Hood t-shirt, you guys. Like, that is on the list of things that I need to get myself. But I love Batman. I've grown up on Batman. Batman is still one of my top superheroes that I absolutely love. And so I watch a lot of Batman. I have not as deeply I watch all Batman. Even the bad Batman, Warner. Even the bad Batman, okay? And we all know who the bad Batman is, okay? We're not gonna go there. We will not go there. But point being is that I love to watch Batman. I've watched a lot of them. Of course, the original 4 movies that we all grew up on that were like Michael Keaton in the first 2, Val Kilmer and George Clooney. Have seen all of those. I've seen all the Christian Bale Batmans. I've seen Rob. I've seen the original Batman with Adam West. I've seen most of Kevin Conroy's work as Batman. Played the video games with Kevin Conroy. Other than Arkham Origins, it's the only one I haven't played yet, you guys. But have played Arkham Knight, completed it. Arkham Asylum, completed it with Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill as the Joker. I've seen Red Hood, Under the Hood. I've seen a lot of Batman stuff. Batman Beyond, all the different ones. Everything. Like, I've seen a lot of Batman, in other words. Some of my favorites happen to be some of the newer stuff that's not that has Damien in it. I like Damien. He's a little cutie patootie. I love that child. He is annoying, but goodness is he cute. And I love that. And but I also am a huge proponent of, I like Jason Todd as a character. Jason Todd, yes, Richard, because we cannot say his other name, his nickname. Richard Grayson has a very traumatic backstory. His parents died at the hands of Two-Face or whoever it is. Basically, it changes depending on which storyline you're looking at it. Warner, you know exactly why we cannot say Richard Grayson's nickname. You know. Why do I have to explain that? You know we cannot say it. I can't say it on live. But point being is that I love Richard as a character. Yes, he has a lot of progression of his parents having died. Bruce takes him in, kind of raises him and stuff like that. But then you have Jason Todd, who in different variations of his story of how he becomes Robin is absolutely the cutest and most hilarious thing. In one version of the how he becomes Robin, he was trying to steal the tires off the Batmobile because they were bulletproof. Let that sink in. Jason Todd, growing up in Crime Alley the way he was, tried to steal the tires off the Batmobile because they were bulletproof. Because he wanted to re-engineer them. He wanted to, like, reverse engineer them. Like, not a joke. This is why Jason is my favorite, if y'all cannot tell. Jason is my baby. For multiple reasons. I love Jason. I love the fact that he comes into this. He's really excited to become Robin. Richard gets mad at Bruce because, like, Robin was technically a family thing for Richard. His mom nicknamed him that because in one version of the story, which is what they used for the movies, Richard manages to save his brother, and yes, eventually becomes Nightwing. But before he becomes Nightwing, he is Robin, of course. For those that may not be into the Batman lore as much as everyone else is and doesn't know that Richard Grayson is also Nightwing, or becomes Nightwing. Let's just kind of go there. Richard, after he's become Nightwing, he's gone on to Bloodhaven and everything like that. He ends up, that's when Jason kind of comes into the picture. Depending on what verse you're in. Some verses, that's when Damian comes in. Like, there's not another Robin after Richard. There is only Damian. And then you have some where, like, okay, Damian doesn't exist, and it's Richard, Jason, then Tim. So we're just talking in general sense of a universe where Richard, Jason, and Tim exist. Jason, basically, as he is Robin, he begins to become very cynical in it, and the whole thing that Bruce wants total out of his Robins is he wants them to become better than Batman ever is. That is something that, like, Bruce talks about in some versions of the canon, is that Nightwing needs to be better than Batman. With Red Hood, with Jason becoming Red Hood, it is a touchier subject, I want to say. Because Jason does die at the hands of Joker. To be very clear, to give everyone some clearness here on that. And depending on what universe you're in will dictate the reasons why he went after Joker. One version, and it's the version that they're using for Red Hood Resurrection. Yeah, one version that they're using for Red Hood, the version that they're using for Red Hood Resurrection, you guys, is that the Killing Joke. If you haven't seen the Killing Joke, essentially the idea behind it is Joker shows up at Barbara Gordon's apartment and she ends up paralyzed. Okay, long story short. And in Red Hood Resurrection, they're using that as the catalyst for Jason going after the Joker, which then results in results in Jason's death. Okay, long story short. And from there, you have Jason is brought back. And again, depending on the universe, there's different ways that this happens. There is the Talia al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul ends up taking the body, tossing it in the Lazarus pit, and bringing him back, and he kind of ends up a little questionable. We love Jason. We do not judge Jason. Jason does not deserve judgment. I'll judge Timothy Drake all day long. I will not judge my Jason. I love Jason. It's kind of like one of these things. It's kind of like how I will say Zayden Ryerson can do no wrong. I'm so ready for Zayden Ryerson villain era so that I can defend everything he does. No, we're not. No, Warner, we do not judge Jason Todd. Jason Peter Todd has had way too much put on his poor little shoulders. We do not judge him. So, anyways, Jason gets resurrected. Again, it depends on what universe you're in. Some universes, it is Lazarus Pit resurrection. And then in other universes, it's Superboy punched the ground and somehow that woke him up. Brought him back to life. We don't ask to understand the science, we just know that it's an option. But yes, universe. I don't know the universes anymore, Warner. I haven't dove into the comics in so long, so I don't have the universes. I know the bits and pieces. I just don't remember what universes they go to. But anyways, so poor sweet Jason, poor sweet summer child Jason Todd, bless his little heart. Poor Jason has been through heck and back. He comes back to Gotham with the intent of he is going to take care of the Joker. This is the whole point of him coming back. He does not understand because Batman's whole entire moral code is he will not. He thinks that all villains can be rehabilitated. I'll be very clear. There's only 3 of them I think that can be rehabilitated, and I stand by this. That is Victor Freeze. Because still, in my opinion, Victor's not necessarily like a whole horrible bad guy. He is just trying to save his wife from a terminal disease. That is it. That is it. Victor Freeze cannot blame this man. Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy is not a villain. She is a social justice warrior. All she wants is for us to be kind to the earth. Again, could 100%. Oh, I forgot. Nope. I forgot about that one. There's 4. There's 4. My bad, you guys. So, third, in my opinion, Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn can be, I fully believe you get her away from Joker long enough, she can be rehabilitated. And yes, Killer Croc could probably be rehabilitated. Would not disagree with that statement, Warner. Would not disagree with that statement. Killer Croc could probably... Killer Croc... Bane's iffy. Bane was a bad guy before the Venom, so therefore, I kind of know. I don't agree with that one. Bane is not a I can fix him man, in my opinion, but that's just me. Point being of all this, you have Jason. He is, oh, that sweet baby Jason. He comes back, and here's the thing, is that if anything in Jason's opinion should have gotten Bruce to break the moral code that he has set for himself, it should have been Jason dying. Should have been. That is Jason's opinion of it. He does not understand why that was not enough. And I agree with Jason. I agree with Jason. I don't understand why the Joker's been allowed to survive this long. I don't. Like, I just don't. Like, I have, there is a certain level at which I have to agree with Jason that the Joker is not rehabilitatable. And he keeps getting out of Arkham. That is a problem. That is a problem in my opinion. And therefore, I agree with Jason. But Red Hood Resurrection tells the story and kind of blends a lot of different pieces of the story together. And it kind of fan services the best parts of Jason's storyline, to be honest. That's my opinion of it. So instead of Jason Jason dies a fiery death no matter what in this. But instead of him dying in a foreign country, he dies in Gotham. Like that's what happens. Joker kidnaps him, yada yada yada. It's because I'm getting excited, Lisa. And it also doesn't help, you guys. I have my YouTube up on my TV right now because I'm totally going to watch this here in a little bit and rewatch it for the millionth time now that season 1 is finished. But so you have episode 1, which is when Jason dies and goes through his training with the League of Shadows. Okay? Can we say what, Warner? I've been saying it. It ain't got me flagged yet. Look, I can let it fly once and it's fine. I think we can say it once and get away with it. It's just we can't repeatedly say it. So, but anyways, I have it pulled up. Um so I'm going to watch it here in a little bit. And so episode 1 follows Jason's death, resurrection, him coming back to Gotham at the very end of it. Then episode 2 is Jason hunting for Joker. Starts out with him going after Black Mask, Sionis, and kidnapping the guy. Or rephrase, that's the first episode. Third episode is when he kidnaps Sionis to get the details out of him about all this stuff. He also basically reveals to Richard, Nightwing, that he's alive. And at that point, Richard is so convinced that this is not Jason. Because the last time he saw Jason before all this happened, Jason was angry. He was so angry about what had happened to Barbara, who is former Batgirl, becomes Oracle later on. She's not Oracle yet, you guys, in this series. I'm waiting. Liz, I'm just going to say this. Like, I commented on one of her on her video earlier today, and I was like, "You were fantastic as Babs. She was perfect as Babs. I loved her." A live action Babs like has not fully happened yet, and I love Babs. Babs is one of my favorite characters. But if she ever sees any of this stuff, like I'm gonna flat out say, Babs, you were my favorite. Liz, you were perfect. I loved you. So anyways, that happens, to be clear. So, that's the last time Richard and Jason had seen each other, and there was a lot of words said in anger. But mind you, Richard's grown up. He's an adult. Jason is a teenager when all this is going on. So there's a lot of teen feelings behind it, whereas Richard is much more level-headed. He's been in Bloodhaven for the longest time at this point. Well, episode 3, Jason gets to meet Tim, the replacement, which I I I don't know how I don't know who I need to like at for this, and I'm wondering, I'm like, so is Jason gonna, are we gonna have in season 2, is Jason gonna start calling Tim replacement? Because that's what a lot of the fanon does, is Jason does not know how, Jason doesn't fully understand how Tim became Robin. And the thing is that Tim put 2 and 2 together that Bruce Wayne is Batman and that Jason Todd was Robin. And basically comes in and tells Bruce, your Batman cannot continue without a Robin. Because Bruce was really going through it when Jason died. And so Tim becomes the new Robin. Because he basically doesn't give Bruce a choice. Whereas, like, as I say, Richard and Jason were chosen by Bruce. Tim just kind of said, I'm yours, and shoved himself into the door. Okay? And we love it. We love Timothy Drake for that. It is hilarious. But anyways, I really hope that they'll have David Michael Reardon as Jason, like calling Tim the replacement, because I think it'd be hilarious. But anyways, not the point. Not the point of where I'm getting distracted, you guys, because like there was so much fan service in this show. It was beautiful. There was so much fan service. Um, so episode 3 has them figuring out, oh, this is Jason. Well, episode 4 has Tim goes to find him after Jason shish kebabbed, and that's how I'm gonna refer to it as shish kebabbed Richard. Um, so Richard can't go because Richard's all wrapped up, and so he sends Tim. Tim finds Jason. They have Tim's trying to be like little baby brother, bring him back into the fold. Didn't work. He played Tim like a fiddle. Um, which is where episode 5 comes in. And Tim actually pays Jason like one of the best compliments in my opinion, because Richard doesn't fight like Bruce. Jason does. And that is something that Tim tells him when they're battling Deathstroke. That you fight like Batman. That's what he tells him. So I won't ruin how the episode ends, but so episode 5 ends. We just got episode 6, which is the final episode of the first season, this past Monday. So they dropped it on Dead Day, April 27th, which is the anniversary of Jason's death. So we got to see a lot of, again, some fan service, you guys. Richard now has a new nickname for me. And I love it because they had Babs call him this. His nickname is now Pixie Boots. I I do not make the rules. It is now canon because it was in the Red Hood Resurrection show. It is now part of canon. Additionally, one of the things that I love that they did in this Red Hood Resurrection show, is that they took it, and they pulled from a lot of the fanon for it, which was kind of beautiful. Um, for those of you that don't know, Jason typically has like this white streak at the front of his hair that has been attributed to the Lazarus pit in most cases. Um so it doesn't matter if he dyes it or not, it's gonna keep growing. It's always gonna grow back in white. Like it's permanently gonna grow back in white. Whereas in the show, they decided to do a different take on it, of how he ends up with it, which was quite interesting. I was like, of all the ways he could have ended up with a white streak, this is different. But one of my absolute favorite parts is the bird call bit. Um which is a fanon thing, and I have it's a fanfic, and it's called Call and Response. It's on Archive of Our Own. It's called like I said, it's called Call and Response, and it is by LP Sunny Bunny, in which the Batman develops their own secret code over the years, and it brings a lost Robin home. I will not ruin the fanfic for you. Essentially, you gotta read it. But the idea is that it starts, it's Dick's idea in the beginning. I'll read you guys some of it. It was Dick's idea in the beginning, after a bus gone wrong where Richard took, I cannot say that, so we're gonna have to switch this over. Richard took a blow to the side of the head that knocked his comms out. Bruce was left scrambling to find him in the dingy warehouse district until he finally found Richard tucked up in a ceiling, dizzy and clinging to a support beam. As Bruce carried him down, Richard tucked his face into Bruce's shoulder and whispered, "I knew you'd come, B. I knew. I couldn't call out because they'd find me. I couldn't." Bruce just hushed him, taking him home, but the thought stuck with Richard throughout his following days of rest, recovering from a concussion that left him on brain rest with too much time and not enough to do. It was easy to bring a notebook and pen to bed when he promised Alfred that yes, he wasn't using any screens, and no, he wasn't reading, he just needed to scribble thoughts down as they came to him. 3 days later, the bird code was born. It started off simple, a call and response. An easy way to check in. If they couldn't use their comms, Batman would whistle a sharp call, sliding up low, and Richard would respond with his own call back. 2 lows, 1 high. Easy, neat, hard to miss when listening for it, but still hiding neatly in the sounds of the city. It would later turn out to be a lifesaver when not even 1 week later, Batman and Robin would follow Scarecrow out of the city to a hidden base in the woods where he was experimenting on a contact spread version of fear toxin, one that could be spread by animals throughout the city. Richard got smacked in the face with a canister of the stuff and kept hearing the snap, the thud of bodies on the ground, falling. He's falling with no one to catch him. Where's B? B's falling, and Richard can't catch him. Whistle, sharp. Slide up, low. Richard, no. Robin. He's Robin now. Sobs and tries to whistle back. He's here. Batman's here. Come find him. He can't make his lips work, but Batman whistles again, and Robin stumbles through the woods toward the sound, fingers scraping in the dirt as he tosses his head back and shrieks his call back. He's been whistling it to himself over and over. He knows the tones by heart. Low, low, high. He's here. But anyways, so basically it goes on to explain that each Robin, even once they're no longer Robin, gets their own code. So, like, each one has a specific tonal difference of how they do it. When they go to the fun... Oh, you guys. Oh, you guys. The fan service is beautiful. They have Richard and Tim do the bird calls in episode 6. And Jason Todd may or may not have done the Bucky knife move. I will not describe that more than what I needed to describe that, but holy man, I was in love. But we already knew I was in love. I love Jason Todd. It's a thing. It's why I played through the Red Hood playthrough for you guys of Arkham Knight on stream one night. It's why I did that, because I wanted you guys to get to see my love for Jason Todd. I still need a Jason Todd t-shirt. I have Bruce. We have a B-Man. We have a Batman. I have 2 Nightwings. One will be cropped. But I need a Red Hood. I need one for Tim. That's Red Robin, because Damian eventually becomes Robin, so, like, I need that. But anyways, you guys, I'm an exhausted kitten. It is almost 9:30, you guys, and usually I would go a lot longer, but today has been a really rough day. My brain is not okay. I have had food and I still have a headache, so that means that I probably have a tension headache coming on. So, with that, TikTok, I'm going to tell you guys night first. I will see you guys tomorrow night for our writing live. We're working on Werewolves of London again. I promise we are going to do that because your girl needs to get some book writing done. But I love you all. I appreciate you for being here on TikTok, you guys, and I will see you guys next week. Or, I mean, tomorrow night. Not next week. Tomorrow night. Until our next cup of tea, guys. And for you, my loves, over here on Twitch and YouTube, thank you for letting me ramble. Thank you for being here. Thank you, if you're still here, I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you letting me just kind of ramble about anime and stuff like that. It is greatly appreciated. And if you've been lurking on YouTube, I love you guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate when you guys come and hang out and all that stuff. So with that, I will see you guys tomorrow night for Writing Live, and we will have fun and work on Werewolves of London a little bit longer together. So good night, and until our next cup of tea.
Step on up, take a seat on the swing. Lemon in the sweet tea, hear the night birds sing. Got a spell in the air, got a spark in my hand. Ain't nothing but love.